Tracking on enemy target has been lost. Ground-based recon required. Begin landing sequence. Hey there everybody, welcome back to Metroid Prime. Last time we made our way through the research frigate, which had quite a bit of dead bodies and pirates all about, because they can't take care of some tiny parasites. How silly of them. But we found Meta Ridley on board, and now we began chasing him, except as you can see we lost track of him. So we will just look around on the surface of this planet, Talon 4, and this area is the Talon overworld. Here we are landing in our space gunship thing. Do I want to save? No I do not. No need to save. I have full health. Game was not saved. And with that, we have landed here on Talon 4. It's raining a bit. And if I scan my gunship this time, it actually does go into the logbook. It is a research item, Hunter Glass, wow. It's a gunship, it can save your game, but another thing it can do is actually replenish all your ammo, all your missile ammo and whatever ammo you come across, except we don't have any missiles or any of that because we lost all of that in an explosion on the frigate as the whole thing blew up. Wrist strap secured, let's begin exploring this world of Talon 4, the Talon overworld. And now if we look at our map, there's a lot of doors we can go through. Well, actually only 3. Those 2 that are at the top there, we can't actually access because it's on a higher ledge. But we now have a world map. This is roughly the shape of the Talon overworld. So let's explore some of that. First of all, I want to head down into this cave. And again, like, you can scan so much. Like, I can scan some of the glowing lichen. But anyway, let's move on to this door because there actually isn't as much to scan in this room as I thought. Anyway, in here we have our first plant-based life form. This is the blast cap. It's a toxic thing. As you can see, when you get close, it shakes, and then if I touch it, it explodes and releases gas. But we're fine. Like, it doesn't do too much. You can just, like, shoot them a few times and they explode. But we have some giant boulders here. There seems to be a small opening near the floor, however, we lost our morph ball. So, let's go another way then. Okay, so that's path number 1, closed off. And even if we did get past that, looking at the map, there seems to be a door that we can't even get through. So we can only get through the blue doors, judging by the legend and how everything else is just question mark, question mark, question mark. But, heading up here, up to these glorious waterfalls, also like low levels of radiation, doesn't appear in any form of fauna, flora I think it is, I don't know. Glowing spider vine, it's a plant, that's all it is. In here though we have, I'm gonna kill the first guy actually, and the second one, because the spine's home in. This is the seedling, I think. Every time it says that. Yes, the seedling. They shoot weird spiny things at us that home in, apparent, like somehow. And, we have a new thing here as well. This is the tangleweed. It slows me down, that's pretty much it. I can jump over it well though. And heading through here, we have the impact crater. Well, we're still in the Talon overworld, so it's actually the naming another place we'll be going to later in the game. But it seems we have some pirate force field tech stuff here. At least I think it's pirate, judging by the research frigate. If we scan this though, we have some pirate lore. It's going on about some weird alien design here on Talon 4, and a containment field, which is interesting, seems to lock away something deep within the crater. And there have been some relics that are found around this place, these Chozo artifacts as they are being called. And maybe they have a key to this place? Who knows? But we have a new research item across this door. This is the blast shield, and we cannot get through that. So we have another dead end. We're gonna have quite a few of these dead ends throughout the beginning of the game, as all we can do is jump and shoot. That's all we can do. And even our shooting's just mashing the A button out into oblivion. And those two doors up there we can't reach, so let's head in here. And the first creature you probably will run into, apart from the parasite and the queen, this is the beetle. It's a little thing that hides out underneath the ground. You can just shoot them a few times. They will go back underground after a few hits. We also have some mushrooms. Mushrooms are very tasty. I want to eat some mushrooms. Maybe not those ones though, because they're glowing. I don't know if glowing mushrooms are good for you. Anyway, in here we have what is apparently a creature. I don't know why, but okay. This is the sap sack. Nothing too good about it, but if you shoot it, explosion. Wow, that's actually a big area of explosion. And it didn't drop anything. Yay! I was kind of hoping it dropped something. So let's just move on. We have some more of these blast caps. This is where I would have scanned it. Wait, you actually drops? I didn't realize blast caps actually drop anything. Anyway, we have a door over there, but let's head up here because that's actually the way to go. And it's a Metroid game where we will explore everywhere. We have the zoomer. We saw one of these things up on the research frigate, although it didn't go into our logbook. It's a very basic thing that just walks around and has spikes, and we can shoot it. No worries. This guy, however, this is a gamer, which is basically a stronger zoomer. These guys were all over Zebus in the 2D games, but shooting it doesn't seem to do much, and it's actually invulnerable to anything we do. Actually, wait. Maybe I can kill it with the sap sack. Okay, no. Wasn't close enough. So the sap sack is actually very useful in that it can kill nearby enemies, which I will be using in the next room, I think. And we can see some sandstone stuff up there in this bridge. Oh, that sap sack dropped something I want. That is, even though it's impossible to see, it's a red, one of those red energy orbs. Replenishes 20 health as opposed to the 10 as normal. But heading in through this door, we have this guy. I hate, whoa, no. This guy, I hate this guy. This is the blood flower. It ejects spores that are annoying. Locking onto him though, we can just shoot the spores back. And as you can see, these sap sacks, I meant to kind of show it off. Shooting the spores back will kill it. Can I get that, please? 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 No, darn it. Wait, yes, I did. Anyway, we have another blast shield, so we can't go onwards here. And some water. Nice. Anyway though, the blood flowers, like that one in particular, you can just shoot a sap sack above it, but you want to shoot the spores. How did this room get its enemies back? Okay. In here we have some beetles, just like spam firepower, because that's all we can do. And a very smooth slope here. But with that, let's just move on to the only way we can go. This game, which is quite a bit about exploration, can't explore too much. But in here we have a lift to the next area, the Chozo Ruins West. I was in the middle of scanning that hologram. For no reason, it's just saying like, lift is active, you can go to the Chozo Ruins West. Or something like that. But here we are, it says Chozo Ruins, but it'll say it again later when we get that small cinematic that appears in every area. But first off, beetles! So many beetles. Die. Okay, seems... Now, we'll see a lot more beetles in the Chozo Ruins. Trust me, it's the sand here. There's a lot. But these pillars seem to be quite old and eroded. But up above this door, we have this weird glowing thing. I can only assume that's sand above it. But this is the Chozo lore. I believe this just introduces the Chozo in a rough sense. They are ancient bird creature things that very wise and very proficient with technology. They seem to have gone extinct after all this time. However, in saying that, we are following the story of a few Chozo who decided to come here to Talon 4. But enough about that. This is the Chozo Ruins. I do kind of like the music here when it actually picks up. We have a giant tree, which seems to be weakened. We have a giant tree bridge, which seems forcibly made. And beetles. So many beetles. I thought the beetles only had 4 of them in them. No, not 5. Anyway, we have a blast shield. Can't get through there. Through to the shrine. I want to go to the shrine. Shrines are awesome. And we have this thing up here. Rests above a smooth inclined slope. And if I jump up near it, if you listen carefully, you can hear that weird humming sound. That'll let you know if there is a collectible nearby. That is something we'll talk about a bit later. But you always want to listen out to them. If you hear one of them, you want to stop, look around, see what could be making it, if you even have the right tools to get it. Anyway, this walkway above, it's not as good as that one. But we have a door up there we can check out, I do believe. And we have another item up there that we can't reach. Oh. And the door behind it, although it's hard to scan. Oh, I had it for a moment. There we go. It's a one-way door. Not very many of them throughout the whole game. But if we jump over here... By the way, if you couldn't guess, we can't go over here, because it's a dead end. But we have these creatures. Okay, so now we go from plants being creatures, which I can kind of guess, but now hives are creatures. What on earth is going on, game? Anyway, it's a war wasp hive, and we haven't actually seen any war wasps. We can't scan those birds, but no war wasps coming out of them even if we shoot them. And hey, there's another thing over there. And I can't scan it, probably will say it's at the top of a ledge. Heading in through this door, whoa, okay. Did not expect them to be right there. We have another new creature. We're gonna have so many of these things. This is the scarab. They're pretty much like parasites, except they bury themselves in the ground. They don't just jump into your face, but they drop a lot of items. And as you can see, dead end. Can't get through there without the morph ball. Again. But I could have sworn there was at least one war wasp just hanging about. Maybe it killed itself. That war wasp has a tendency to do that. So let's head the only way we can, of course. And by the way, maps. We need to find a map station too. We have more of these scarabs, and they seriously, they do no damage. You can almost just run straight through them, because they drop items as well. But we have an ion. It's literally an eye shooting lasers out of its singular eye. Or the whole creature is an eye? I don't know, but it's an eye in a wall that shoots lasers. So yeah, and we have more beetles, but we also have a shiny thing on the wall. I must scan the shiny thing. You chose Galore, what does this one go on about? Of course I will bring on screen all the text that's much easier to read. This is just about how the magical the Chozo are. Again, you're the ledge in the wall. And with these blocks here, even though they're red, actually I'm surprised they're red, these are sandstone blocks. We will be getting into what can destroy them later, but as you can guess, our blaster cannot destroy much. I think this is called the power beam. So you will see a few of them in the battle tips I also include for each of the creatures. And I want to scan these guys. This is the war wasp. It's a flying insect that charges into me occasionally. But, fun story about these guys. The war wasps. I somehow managed to go through... I've played this game quite a few times. I'm not actually saving, just gonna get that little bit of health back. For no reason in particular, but... I've gone through a whole playthrough of this game, and I've played this game many times. And somehow, I went through the whole game, got right to the end, and I'm like... I'm missing one scan. What am I missing? What on earth am I missing? What could it be? And in my opinion, I think war wasps are some of the most common creatures that you come across in the game. And it was that one, the most common thing that you see, or at least most common annoying thing. Like the beetles, they're not going to be a problem soon. But we have a few things in here, just like some markers made by the Tozo and a roof that's caved in. And some weird things that look much like an ion, but seem to have fossilized. And can I scan this? Yes, I can. A significant amount of water used to be here, so it seems there's a bit of a drought. And there's more war wasps here, yes. These guys can die. So yeah, went through a whole game, spent ages going like, what scan did I miss? Come on. And then like, just running around, I looked at a war wasp and it was like, oh, that icon is still there. And sure, like the icons, like they're still there, but they're very hard to see because they're dimmed. Anyway, this wall over here is made of brimstone and a concussive blast may shatter it. Good to know. And we have something in the wall here, approximately 1 meter in diameter. I wonder what could fit in there. Well, not us, because we don't have the morph ball yet. Anyway, we have an ion. We saw these creatures up on the research frigate, but an ion, sorry, a plasmite. And actually we also saw the war wasps up on there. You can shoot them, but then the place is much darker. And if I shoot this box, although I can't scan the box, this box every time will drop a red energy unit. So if you haven't got it yet from Sap Sack, there you go. Every time, it'll always drop that. Very useful. Especially when we are in a large room. It's kind of circular, even if it's on a bit of a tilt. I'm sure you can guess what's going to happen. But we can't even get back, actually. Wow. But we have these things which have some high level of toxins. This water, warning, 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 warning. Damage! You take damage in the water, so don't go in the water. And we have this giant thing up there. Appears to be inactive, life forms inside, but it's inactive. We'll be fine. And over here we have something on the other side of the bridge, but we'll be fine, because that thing's inactive. Oh, wait a minute. I totally didn't see this coming at all. This is, scanning this is the Hive Mecha. Apparently machines are also creatures, although I guess this is set far in the future, so yeah. The Hive Mecha is pretty much indestructible. However, it spawns these guys. This is the Ram War Wasp. You want to make sure you scan a lot of these, even though you can miss the Parasites and Parasite Queen. Should have mentioned them there too. These scans are missable. This is the only time you can scan them, so make sure you do so. And let's just like spam our shots in hopes of hitting one while they spin around. But basically they will spin around around you and then stop to ram into you. And if you look at the radar in the top left, you can roughly see where they are and where they stop, which is very useful for like when they do. I don't want to shoot you, because when I shoot it, this thing will open up to call in more Ram War Wasps. You really want to shoot it quickly, otherwise more come in and you have to like do the whole phase again. And this is, that was a good time to shoot oh, go on, yes! Oh, I didn't even notice those guys were spamming me. As you can see with the radar in the top left, it can get hard to see which ones are actually still moving after a bit. And in case you couldn't see that, it's very annoying, but sometimes they will spin above your head to move into a different line, because as you can see they're spinning around me in 2 different lines, and if you jump at that time you will actually get hit in the head. And I kind of want to show it off, but again I don't want to get hit. I say again, but I'm pretty sure that's the first time I've ever said that. Oh, you lined up nicely. Oh, there we go, that was perfect. Walking on to that's great, because obviously we have free aim on. I think you can actually turn that off in the settings. So your free aim, like sure I can free aim like this, but whenever I'm locked onto an enemy, it doesn't, like my pointer will stay directly in the center, as opposed to like just being off target like it was there. Whoop. Didn't even realize they're stopping. It's because there's so much stuff going on in that radar. All I can do is rapid fire. I think the top row has 3 of them in it though, so I'll go for them. Oh yeah, you could see that that guy would have hit me if I was standing over here. That's how crazy it is, and really annoying. I've almost lost a run in hyper mode due to that. Hyper mode is of course the hardest difficulty, but you only unlock that once you complete normal or veteran mode. I'm on veteran of course, and hyper mode is, well, I would have been playing on that, but the game decided, nope, we're just gonna delete all your save progress. I thought it would only delete them. Anyway, enough about that. Almost there. I think this is the last one. Oh, wow, I did not expect to kill it. Come on, come on, come on. Did I? Yes! Hive Mecha defeated. And with that, we can finally grab that item, which I'm sure you guys know what it is. This is the missile launcher. That's my impression of what noise that makes. But with that, we get the missile launcher. We know how to launch missiles already, game. We have a counter in the top right. I already scanned that. But now I can blast open those blasts. Whoa, I want to scan what this is first. This is an energy tank. Gives you full health and increases it by 100. We get a little square there to indicate that. We have a few boxes too. And oh, I did not expect these here. This is a large missile ammunition, or medium, technically, but it gives us 5 missiles as opposed to the normal 3 that we have been acquainted with. And another small tunnel, 1 meter wide. I wonder what we could do there. Well, nothing, because we don't have the morph ball. But once you've got the missile launcher, heading back this way, you might actually need to head into that room. But those rocks will fall. These guys respawn because we left a couple of rooms. Shooting them will get them. Shooting near them will make them fly around like crazy away from you. So that's a good method. And shoot that before the wall wasps spawn. There we go. And now it's a ruined hive. Wahaha! I ruined your hive. What are you going to do about it? Well, brimstone is what it was over there. Missiles are good against brimstone, and as you can see here, we have another missile launcher. Well, actually, a missile expansion increases your missiles by 5. And it has the exact same effect as the missile launcher, actually. You don't need the missile launcher to get the missile expansions. It's just the missile launcher has a bit more text and a cutscene when you get it. Like, if you can somehow manage to break the game and get missile expansions before then, well, you never need to get a missile launcher, actually, unless you're going for 100% like I am. But let's take a look at the map. We have quite a bit to explore here in the Chozo Ruins. And as you can see, this is a big, round, open area. Obviously a boss fight there. And doesn't seem to be any boss fights anywhere else. At least it's not apparent. But with our missile tank, we can head back to the Talon Overworld. Or we can head through this room, I think. The grey doors, of course, are symbolized by what the missile can open. But with that, guys, we will explore further into the land of the Chozo Ruins on Talon 4. Look at Samus jump. Samus looks very awkward jumping like that, actually. It's like, is Samus in a T-pose when doing that? That is crazy. Anyway, with that, guys, this has been Spiraling Helix. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.